Hello dear friends, the United Arab Emirates is the real embodiment of the Oriental fairy tale, which has all the stamps associated with luxury, wealth, magical nature, Oriental wisdom and the wonders of technology, but it was not always so. The United Arab Emirates UAE is located in the eastern part of the Arabian Peninsula and consists of 7 emirates and was founded on December 2, 1971. December 2 ND is celebrated annually as the country's national day, and the government is currently planning a number of projects to celebrate the 50th National Day celebration, which will take place on December 2, 2021. Though the UAE was officially formed in 1971, making it a younger nation than most, the region does have rich heritage from before the formal foundation of the country. Artifacts that were uncovered in the UAE show a history of human habitation and migration that spanned back over 100,000 years ago, providing evidence of a number of tribes that traded with coastal towns and with the Harappan culture from the Indus Valley civilization, amongst other ancient populations. From nomadic tribes, to European conquests and battles along the coast, to the eventual formation of the country between the Emirates rulers, the UAE, despite formerly being so young, has a rich, colorful history behind its ultra-modern aesthetic. Today, the UAE is a modern oil-exporting country with a highly diversified economy, with each emirate boasting a number of unique sites and hotspots. At the Jebel Fayah archaeological site, primitive hand axes as well as several kinds of scrapers were unearthed, and these basic tools resemble the tools that were used by early modern humans in East Africa, and are dated to be about 125,000 years old. This evidence is exciting, as it is the earliest evidence of modern humans found outside Africa, and provides new findings for when modern humans left Africa, implying that modern humans might have migrated earlier than previously theorized. During the Paleolithic era, smaller Bedouin communities survived by fishing and by collecting plants. This era is characterized by the emergence of pottery, which has been unearthed by archaeologists in the areas that are currently Sharjah, Al Quwain, Ras Al Khaimah, and Abu Dhabi. During the First Stone Age, findings like stone arrows and axe heads show human habitation in the Arabian Peninsula from around 5000 to 3100 BC. The Bronze Age included the Hafid period and is named after extensive finds of burials of distinctive, beehive-shaped tombs in Jebel Hafid. This period spanned from 3200 to 2000 BC. The El-Nar culture is also of the Bronze Age and is derived from the island of the same name that is next to Abu Dhabi. This culture covers about 6 centuries, from 2000 BC to 2000 BC, and includes more evidence of trade with the Sumerian kingdoms, as well with the Indus Valley civilization. This was followed by the Wadi Suk culture, which dominated the region till 1300 BC. Key archaeological finds point to major trade cities that existed in the area, located on the western and eastern coasts of the UAE. It is theorized that the domestication of animals took place during this era, leading to further settlement inland, and the cultivation of crops, including the iconic date palm. Despite dwindling trade links with the Indus Valley, archaeologists have found more sophisticated implements, proving the presence of a growing, advancing civilization. Islam is the official religion of the UAE. Islam was established early on in the Arabian Peninsula, with the arrival of envoys from Prophet Muhammad in 632 to herald the conversion of the region to Islam. After Prophet Muhammad's death, one of the major battles of the Ridda Wars was fought at Dibba, which is now present-day Fujairah. The defeat of the non-Muslims in this battle resulted in the triumph of Islam and the establishment of the religion in the Arabian Peninsula. Amr bin Alas visited the area of Oman and Sohar and brought the Prophet's message to the kings of Oman, while Abu al-Alam al-Hadrami visited Bahrain for the same reason, leading to the spread of Islam within the Gulf region. The Islamic civilization flourished in the region during the Umayyad Caliphate between 661 AD and 750 AD, and the Abbasid Caliphate between 750 AD and 1258 AD. During this time, sea trade links were established between the Gulf and other areas in Southeast Asia and along the West African coast, resulting in deeper trade routes between these regions. Thanks to the UAE location between Europe and the Far East, merchants came from India and from China, and the location was prized by Europeans, particularly the Portuguese, the Dutch, and the British. The Portuguese were amongst the first Europeans to arrive on the Arabian Peninsula in 1498, after Vasco da Gama's successful trip around the Cape of Good Hope. By 1515, the Portuguese established themselves by fighting their way into the Indian Ocean and the Gulf of Oman, and reached the height of their maritime power by 1560. They took over the role of intermediary for trade between the ports of the Indian Ocean and established a semi-monopoly on the pepper and spice trade. By the 1640s, however, the Arabi forces ousted the Portuguese from Julfar and Dibba and recaptured Muscat in 1650. The loss by the Portuguese in this region marked the entry point for the Dutch and the English to the Middle Eastern markets, with the Dutch becoming a dominant naval power in the Indian Ocean and the Arabian Gulf by the 17th century, thanks to a profitable agreement for the trade in silk with Shah Abbas I. By the 1750s, however, Dutch power weakened in the area due to three-way warfare between the Dutch, the English, and the French. The 1700s marked the rise in trade between the British and the Gulf region, and the British were primarily concerned with safeguarding their trade links to India and preventing other European competitors. A number of conflicts took place between the British and Al-Qawasim in the 18th century. After a number of incidents where British ships had fallen foul of Al-Qawasim, an expeditionary force embarked for Ras Al Khaimah in 1809, and a peace treaty was signed between the British and the leader of Al-Qawasim, which broke down in 1815. After defeating the Qawasims, the British signed a series of agreements from 1820 to 1852 with the sheikhs of the individual emirates to ensure peace at sea and refrain from erecting fortifications along the coast. However, despite these agreements, regular naval warfare between the Arab tribes was still prevalent. The British ties were made with the Trucial States, the name the British government gave to the tribal confederations in the Arabian Peninsula, and the agreement ensured that the Emirates would not cede any territory except to the United Kingdom, and to refrain from engagement with any foreign government other than the United Kingdom, without prior consent. In return, the British promised to protect the coast from all aggression by sea and to provide assistance during any land attacks. By the 1960s, Britain's imperial reach was bankrupt and politically exhausted. In early 1968, the British declared their intention to withdraw from the Gulf by the end of 1971. The foundation of the UAE was a big step taken by the separate Emirates, as the Arab world had never seen a successful federation of disparate pieces, but Sheikh Zayed, along with Sheikh Rashid bin Said Al Maktoum, met in February 1968 and proposed a federation. In July 1971, plans were made to form a union between the then 6 Emirates, and the council ensured that the country would be recognized as an independent sovereign state that was a part of the Arab world. A provisional constitution was adopted, and Abu Dhabi was approved to be the provisional capital. Sheikh Zayed, Abu Dhabi's ruler, was elected as the first president, while Sheikh Rashid, Dubai's ruler, was elected as the vice president. The UAE today is a formidable nation, despite being smaller in size than most countries. Having had incredible economic growth thanks to the oil boom, the country has grown over the past 40-odd years to become the hub of the Arab world. Despite the financial crisis in 2008, which was deeply felt, especially in Dubai, the country managed to bounce back. Though Dubai did have rising debts, a loan from Abu Dhabi helped Dubai avoid defaulting on its obligations, and the city was able to unveil the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, the following year. Indeed, Dubai is recognized by people around the world for its tourist hotspots, and the UAE hosts millions of tourists every year, with many more pouring in to start their lives in the rapidly growing country. The government focuses on maintaining stability in the region and also promotes a business-friendly environment. Subscribe to the channel, evaluate the video in the comments, as well you can look at other interesting videos on our channel.